Hey y'all, it's Rob. I just wanted to come to you for a minute. Had a couple of thoughts I wanted to share. I am in downtown Dallas at the Reunion Hotel, Hyatt Reunion here, just right on the west edge of Dallas, looking backwards behind me back there towards Fort Worth and back towards West Texas a long ways. First thing I wanted to do was a little mention here, something I missed and something that might be worth mentioning. We were at a hotel a couple of nights ago, and I got on a computer, the hotel computer, and just thought I'll type my own name in, see what comes up, you know, for YouTube. And sure enough, found my channel and 2 or 3 videos. One of the videos that came up was from quite some time ago, maybe a year ago, maybe a little over a year ago, that HDP, the High Desert Pioneer, had put out, in which he referenced me, and I never knew it, so I never got to acknowledge him and tell him thank you. And that got me to thinking, how often does that happen? You do a video, I know I've done it before, mention somebody in a video or do a little shout out to them, and they really never know about it because I really never told them. I just somehow assumed that maybe they would find it and figure it out. Well, you know, if y'all ever, anybody that ever says anything about me, good or bad, I'd love to know about it. And, you know, so don't be afraid to let me know if you do, and I'll certainly, you know, thank you for it. Give everybody a heads up to go check it out. So, for anybody that hadn't checked out HDP, High Desert Pioneer's channel, he's a pretty neat guy. He's got some pretty good stuff on there, so go look at him. Because of where I was, I didn't even get to watch the whole video. I just kind of got a start on it, but it looked like he was doing some thoughts on kind of his everyday carry in his vehicle, which that's something I like talking about too. I got to go watch it. I bet he didn't have as much crap in his as I got in mine. Second thing that I wanted to mention, if you look behind me back here, that's a city. That's a lot of city. If you take about a 4-second snapshot, heck, if you take about a 2-second snapshot, you'll see more people, more cars right back there in that 2 seconds than I typically see in a day. Probably a lot more than I typically see in a day. And it reminds me that you get complacent about things like that. You get used to where you are and you don't think. For the people that live in cities, I just want to encourage you to have a plan. You know, maybe that nothing ever goes bad in our lifetime or even our kids' lifetime. But if it does, you know, we're all going to have our own issues to deal with. But how long do you think it'll take that many people to go through what water there is that's available, what food there is that's available? If you live in a city, and you've heard this before, you don't need me to tell you, but if you live in a city, have a plan to get out. You know, it may not be practical to have a bug out location or a retreat somewhere. That's hard to keep staffed. You know, check with Team Foco about some of the risks of that sort of thing. That could go badly. But make some friends. Figure out who you know, some relatives, and go ahead and kind of pre-plan with them. Hey, if things get bad, can I come work on your dirt? Can I come help you garden? Can I come help you cut firewood or whatever? Figure something like that out. Don't get caught with your proverbial pants down if something like this happens. When we come down here, I think about, okay, if we had to walk, and I know the likelihood of something happening and we had to walk out of here is almost nil. But from here to get beyond civilization or beyond this type of civilization is about 70 miles. 70 miles across Arlington and Fort Worth and out of Weatherford and up into some place where you start not being in the midst of thousands and tens of thousands of people. 70 miles. We got little kids. We got a couple of people that aren't in very good shape. If we made great time, that's a minimum of 3 or 4 days if we had to walk. Like I say, I know that's pretty wild to say you might have to walk out of something like that. But what if you did? And what if you had to drive out, but it was just wall-to-wall traffic? It was traffic jams and cars blocked and that kind of thing. What if that's what it was? Do you know your route? Do you know a place you can stop and camp or get up in some trees or out of the way, or where there's a little lake or a little hole of water somewhere that you could go gather some water out of and pump up some drinking water, or maybe catch a fish, or maybe whatever. I mean, hopefully if you're doing something like that, you're not on a camping, hunting, fishing trip. You're on an escape route trying to get gone quick. But consider, what if you get trapped? Have a water filter. have a 5-gallon bucket that you can put some things in, snap a lid onto it, and open it up and pull out something you can filter some drinking water. Maybe a little bit of food, a few cans of something. If that's all you've got, that gives you a head start on most people. If you can pump some drinking water, if you can open up a can of beans, if you've got a little stove or a little something you can build a fire with, and a little bitty cook pot, I mean even like a metal coffee can that you can cook some rice in, or make some instant potatoes or some oats, that gives you a jump. Figure out a way so you can take care of yourself for 4 or 5 days to get to where you got to go, and have some place to go. You know, even where we are, we think about, you know, if it got bad out where we, and I can't imagine it getting that bad out where we live that we would have to bug out. You know, Wes and I just did that deal down in South Texas where we did a little bug out exercise. And even in that kind of a thing, as controlled environment that it was, we had stuff go wrong. We had things that made it hard for us. We had things that made it a little bit more difficult. We had fractuosities we had to deal with. There's a good $5 word. In a deal like that, if you have to get out somewhere and you have to deal with that, I mean, look at all those cars. For a lot of you that live in cities, this is nothing. And I know it's not busy out there right now. There's nothing going on out there. I mean, those cars are moving along just fine. But if you're aware of stuff like that, you know all it takes is one idiot to run into one other idiot, and all of a sudden traffic backs up for 10 miles. Have a plan. Think about it. Figure it out in advance. Know where you're going to go and know how to get there. You know, you don't have to have a 10-acre retreat with 8-foot fences and guard dogs and machine gun towers and all that. But it would be good to have some friends you can go see if you need to. We're here one more night. Tomorrow's Easter, then we go back home, and I'll get this video posted along with a whole bunch of other videos that we shot down there. I haven't even begun to edit stuff out and figure out the order I'm going to do it. I'm kind of waiting to take Wes's lead, I guess, see how he releases his videos. It was kind of more his deal than it was my deal. I'm just kind of a tag along on that thing. The dishwasher, I guess. But I thought about that. Whenever I come down here, I think I'm out of my environment here. A bunch of the people in the group here want to go down to a bowling alley downtown. I'm not even going to be able to enjoy myself from watching 600 other people and seeing what's going on. Wish me luck trying to relax and enjoy that. But anyway, I just want to say Happy Easter. I hope all of y'all are doing okay. Man, if you've got some ideas on how to get out of the city, I'd love to hear them. I'd love to see you share it with everybody. All right, y'all. It's good to see you. Cheers.